I'm going to share with you 3 steps on how to reprogram your subconscious mind so you can stop all your self-sabotaging behavior. But before we go into that, we must understand first, why do we self-sabotage? What is self-sabotage in the first place, right? And at the end, we're going to see how we can reprogram our subconscious mind to stop all self-sabotage behavior. Because all self-sabotage behavior start with your subconscious mind. Now, here's the thing. Self-sabotage is whenever that you want something, right? You know something is important, something good, something is necessary for you, but despite knowing that, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Despite knowing that, you're not stopping what you're supposed to stop. So that is self-sabotage. So you self-sabotage whenever that you have the awareness that something is important for you. Whenever that you have the awareness that you have to achieve this goal, you have to do something. But for some reason, you're not doing it. And you're not doing it because internally you feel like it's a burden. You know you have to start a diet, but you're not doing it. You know you have to start investing and building a business, you're not doing it. You know you have to start a YouTube channel, you're not doing it. You're procrastinating over and over and over because this task feels like a burden. Now, why is that? That happened because most of the action we take on a daily basis, most of the things that we do on a daily basis, we do them based on the content that we have in our subconscious mind. We do them based on our programming, the way that we are programmed, our mindset, the way that our mind is set. Because even though you have a lot of knowledge, even though you have awareness that certain things are good, that certain things are necessary, but if you're programmed differently, you're going to do different things. And if you do different things, you're going to have different results, which are going to be the result that you don't want. So every time you see that, you know the diet is important, you know starting the YouTube channel is important, you know creating a business is important. Well, whenever you have to do something regarding that, you're not doing it, it's because you're programmed different. Now the question becomes, how do I program my subconscious mind so the action I take feel easier for me and I stop procrastinating on it? How do I reprogram my subconscious mind so I can stop all these self-sabotaging behaviors, be it procrastination, perfectionism, people pleaser, so I can start acting on my goals and I can start having different results? So that is what we are going to see here today. Now, when it comes for you to reprogram your subconscious mind, the first thing you must understand is the subconscious mind is automatic. So it has been programmed. This is the reason we're using the word reprogramming. So your subconscious mind is programmed a certain way already. Now you're not being aware of that because it feels natural. It feels like it's part of you. It feels like it's normal. But your subconscious mind is programmed already. A program with different content, different belief, different assumption about yourself and the world. Now, here are 3 things you have to do to reprogram your subconscious mind. The first thing, and this is something that I mentioned a lot of time in the course that we have, which is called the Framework of Change Master, which is a course of 5 steps, a framework, 5 steps, where you can stop all your self-sabotaging behavior and create a change, right? So the first thing you have to do is the awareness. In order for you to reprogram your subconscious mind, you must be aware on how your subconscious mind is currently programmed. In order for you to change the programming of your subconscious mind, you must be aware on how your subconscious mind is currently programmed. What do I mean by that? In order for you to know, how do I change the programming of my subconscious mind? How do I change my mindset? The first thing you must be aware is what are your current patterns. What are your current patterns of belief, your current patterns of assumption, your current programming? And on the course that we have, we share with you a worksheet that you can use for that. You can use the worksheet to have in front of you the patterns of behaviors, the patterns of emotions, the pattern of thoughts and belief that you currently have in your subconscious. So once you're being aware of that, when you have the information, this is when you can go to the second step. The second step is decision. Decision to change. Decision to leave behind the current program, the current belief, the current assumption, the current behaviors, habits that you have on yourself. So if you observe that you have a pattern of overspending, right, this is when you're doing the awareness then. So you're being aware during a certain period of time, right? You do that every day for 7 days, for 14 days. You do that for the time that is necessary in order for you to observe the patterns over time. Now, if you observe that you have the overspending behavioral patterns, so you have knowledge of that, you're aware of that, the second thing you do is you take a decision. Now, what happens with a decision, most people don't know how to take a will decision. Because most of the time when they take a decision, they just give up after a certain period of time. So on the framework as well, we share with you a method that you could use to take a 3D decision. A 3D decision is a decision that you cannot give out. You do it on 3 levels: on the mental plane, the emotional plane, and the behavioral plane. Now, after you take the decision to leave the current patterns, the next thing you do is you release them, right? You release them, then you reprogram yourself. Reprogramming yourself, to put it very simple so a lot of you can understand, is you start making new things natural. You start making new beliefs, new assumptions natural. You start making them part of yourself. You start making them part of the world you live in. You start changing your belief. And what is a belief in the first place? A belief is an idea that you've acquired from yourself, right, or from someone else, and that you have been nurturing over and over in your mind, and you assign a certain emotional connection. And over time, it becomes a belief, something that you assume, something you use as a base. In fact, I always say that on my videos that a belief can be protective, and a belief can also be a cage. Right? So as soon as you start changing this belief, this assumption, this is when you are starting to reprogram yourself. Just because you're starting to reprogram the belief that you have about yourself, the assumptions, the thoughts, the way you feel, and therefore the action. And once you do that, this is when you're starting to build different action. And over time, you'll see different results because your action has been changed. Be aware of your current patterns. Take a decision to change them, release them, let them go, and reprogram yourself. Starting to acquire new things, new belief, new assumption that can be part of what you consider as normal, what you consider as usual. Go ahead and try that. And also use the worksheets to help. We have a complete workbook with all 5 steps on it. The awareness, the decision, the release, the reprogramming, and the integration. So we have a workbook with all 5 steps on them. Go ahead and download it on the link below. You'll be able as well to see the full course, right? We have the community gonna help you with that. And also, you'll be able to see the coaching program we have if you're interested about it at the moment. That was all for today. Then I'll see you on the next.